Hey guys, Zypra here and welcome to some more FLS or Feral Warlock Shaman. Please sit back and enjoy the games. Okay guys, so going into this game, the plan was to start on the warrior because this is KFC and they usually come in pretty hard, so we wanted to try and limit his damage. So he uses the heroic leap, charge in, he gets feared off. I open on him and I want to try and get up all my bleeds before the monk gets over, but I get feared so I can't quite finish that off. My healer gets put into a stun, almost a waste of a stun though, as he doesn't really make anything happen from it. I go over, I finish off putting my bleeds on and he uses the blade storm. I then go ahead, I decide to try and swap to the monk, but I get put into a stun. Over here he gets feared and then he uses nimble. So I go ahead, I swap over, but he gets put into a hex, so I break it and I decide to go ahead and put him in a cyclone. Now I'm just going to try and get some more bleeds up, more damage, and then I kick the monk. I decide to use Incarn here, try and force out a lot more pressure. So the monk takes a bit of damage, I put him in stuns. I then decide to put the stuns onto the hunter as well. My lock goes low, so he uses the spirit link, and we all get in that just to make sure it's okay. I kick the monk once again, and I just sit on him here. This is when the monk starts to take a lot of damage, but the warrior starts to take a lot of damage as well. So now he starts to fall behind, and pulled pork slowly is going down with my bleeds. So I go ahead and I swap over to the warrior to help finish off with the kill. And then that was the game. So right near the end, what we kind of need to do is we need the lock to be able to build up his dots as well as me spreading my bleeds, and they just slowly wear down and the healer can't keep up with it. But I hope you enjoyed this game, and I will be going on to the next clip for the commentary. See you there. Alright guys, so going into this game, we wanted to go ahead start on the warlock, and what I decided to do here is go around the edge because I don't want to get caught out by a blizzard or a hellfire at all. I noticed that warlock has the blood horror on, so I know I'm going to get feared straight off, but I'm going to go ahead and open on him anyway, take it and not use my trinket. I'm going to reconnect afterwards, but it's only for a short time before the druid puts me into the full cyclone. The dark bargain comes out and then the warlock uses a chaos bolt which I'm unable to stop. Now I go ahead and I cyclone the druid for a full 5 seconds and try and reconnect with the lock, but I get coiled off and then he uses Dark Soul. I reconnect only for a few seconds before I decide to go ahead and use the cyclone on the druid after his NS. I then get put into a half fear as well, but the druid's into half cyclone, so it's kind of a fair swap. I then kick him and put him into a bash. I was going to go onto the mage here, but I get feared off for the last time and I decide to go back onto the warlock here. Now they're all starting to take a bit of damage. The druid's dispelling all the dots, the warlock's pretty low and the mage is about half as well, pretty much the same as the druid. I get blood horror off here as well. I once again save my trinket. I decide to try and get some bleeds onto the druid, and then I swap to the mage, try and get some bleeds onto him as well, just trying to spread around all my bleeds so that I can try and force out as much pressure as possible. Here I go back onto the druid and he goes around the corner and just blinks. The chaos bolt's coming out again, which I do manage to get a kick on, and then I decide to use my Incarn just to spread out a bit more pressure. Here the lock's taking a lot of damage and I decide to go back over to the druid and try and stun lock him down. Here he's taking a lot of damage from my Incarn as well. The warlock's pretty low as well. They're both getting really low. I trinket the bash and I'm still just hitting into him. He gets a really big NS any second now. There it is, a really big NS, and the warlock's still pretty low. I decide to go ahead and put him in a cyclone, but I can't get to the warlock, so I decide to go ahead onto the mage here. Here the warlock uses dark regeneration, so he's gaining quite a bit of HP. The mage blinks, the mage is low too. I managed to force the mage's ice block and the cold snap, so they're quite far behind now from this incarnation. And now I'm on the druid. I decide to put him into a cyclone here and go back onto the mage because I know he's only got one more block left. The cyclone gets put onto me and the fear gets put onto the shaman. So here they're just trying to CC us, trying to recover as much as possible, but I decided to go ahead, try and kick the mage there, and there's another chaos bolt, so that goes in my face. The mage is pretty low here and the druid's just trying to keep his team as much as possible. I put him into a bash here and then it's followed by a cyclone, and I'm trying to make as much happen with this CC out as possible. The Dark Soul is once again out from the warlock, but he's incredibly low once again and he does just go down. So the game was really long here and a lot happened, but I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope it was helpful. Have a good day and thank you for watching.